Every financial analyst and podcast under the sun is expecting that in 2022 we will enter a global recession. Now, if you don't want to become a slave to the rising tide of costs and you want to take some action, stay tuned because in this video I'm going to be sharing 3 rules that you can put in place right now that will help you thrive during the recession and put you in an amazing financial position coming out of it. If you clicked on this video, you are inevitably an action-oriented person like me, and we have that in common. You don't want to be kicked around by your economy or the global economy into the decisions and purchasing decisions you must have to make. And in a recession, it can very much feel like that your hands are tied behind your back because of how much your money is being spent on essentials, way more than it maybe was in the past. And so it feels sometimes very difficult to do anything in a recession to help your financial and monetary position. But if we take the last recession as a good example, many people did thrive during that period. Many people did suffer and are still suffering the consequences of that, but many people also did thrive. And so there are some lessons and rules that we can learn from those people that did succeed in the past recession and that we can apply this time round. So without further ado, let's jump into rule 1. Rule 1 is to not stop investing. I've made tons of videos on this channel talking about the benefit and consistency of investing. And anyone you follow on social media or anywhere will tell you that the only way you make serious money over a long term is by staying consistent and investing over a longer period of time and ignoring these booms and busts over a short period of time. And that's actually how you will make a significant amount of money. And the same rules apply here in a recession. If you've been investing in the S&P 500, for example, for the past 10 years, and actually it's a bit demoralizing now putting in £10,000 and seeing it go down to 9,900, for example, after a day, that is tough. But we all know that if you continue to invest over the long term, you will still win and you will still benefit from that consistent approach. Now, psychologically, as I said, it's very difficult sometimes to see your monetary value go down when you invest money. But the way I look at it and the mental model that I've been trying to adopt to help think about this is those things I would have bought before, right? And they might have been at a higher price, but therefore my investment was at a higher value. But now I'm still buying those same things, but they are just cheaper. It's like buying a pair of trainers and last month they were £100. You still wanted them and you went and bought them, but this month they're £90. They're still valuable. They still, serve some purpose, and that ultimately in the long term, they will still, work out good for you. So think about it that way. Rather than seeing your investment portfolio and value coming down, think about it as an opportunity to buy the same things you were buying before, but at a discount. Rule number 2 is about those discounts. Now, in a recession, everything kind of loses value because people become a lot safer with their money, countries become a lot safer with their money, borrowing reduces. And so in that, there will be anyone and everyone telling you, now is the time to invest in real estate or this stock or whatever else it might be because it's at a discount. And now's the time to get in because in 10 years time, this thing is going to the moon, or this thing is 10xing in 10 years. As soon as we're out of this recession, this thing's going to pop. And you will see that everywhere, and particularly across social media over the next 6 months to a year. I think you'll be seeing a lot more of that. And it's very easy to get sucked into that. You think, actually, Kieran, you just said things are on discount. Why don't I go and buy that maybe riskier thing that I was maybe thinking about, and actually, 10x hopefully once we're out of the recession and things are growing again. But that's a very dangerous position to get into because a lot of those things that people will be pushing will either just be pure out scams or just be things that actually aren't based on good, solid business. And so no matter how discounted it is or how many promises people tell you that it will grow by in the future, actually nothing's going to happen and you'll end up just losing your money. So the advice really here is to stick to the things you know. Whether that is big ETFs like the S&P 500, like NASDAQ, whatever else it might be, continuing being consistent in investing in those rather than some of the other kind of strange risky assets, and just be consistent on those things that you know and love, and also the things you know are built on solid, good business foundations. And if you do that, you will be fine through this recession. Rule number 3 is about reselling. Now, undoubtedly, our houses are full of loads of stuff and honestly, a lot of junk. Particularly during lockdown, we bought loads of stuff to keep ourselves entertained whilst we were all locked up in our houses. And now that things have opened up, maybe we don't find ourselves using as many of those things. I bought a pool table for myself during lockdown, didn't really get much use, and now it's being sold. And so in a recession, reselling is actually a very lucrative market. So in the 2008 recession in the US, the resale market actually grew by 64.1% from a sales perspective. And that is really because people are looking to tighten their purse strings during a recession, realizing that they can't go out and buy that new shiny thing. But they still, need to buy presents for families when it gets to Christmas, needs to buy gifts for people, whatever else it might be. And so actually the secondhand market hugely increases. And now's a great time for all of us to dig through those drawers, get rid of those clothes or those electronics that we bought during lockdown, or just things that we don't use anymore, and get those out there. There's so many marketplaces in which you can advertise a lot of this stuff. Facebook Marketplace, I found, is a great way to get some traction on things that you're trying to sell. I've had no issues with ever selling anything on Facebook Marketplace. And so if you've got that rubbish hanging around, in a recession, it's a great time to resell some of that stuff, get that additional income going, and you could be surprised, even by how much some of the things that other people are willing to pay for that maybe you think are useless. The recession is undoubtedly coming, if not already here, and if you don't take some action now to prepare yourselves, it could be very easy for you to fall victim to this recession and actually negatively suffer from a financial perspective over the next couple of years that could set you up in a bad way over the next couple of years. Now, the rules in this video won't make you a millionaire overnight or won't 10x your profits, but what they will do is give you a stable financial foundation to make sure that you continue to make money during the recession, but also puts you in a really, really strong position coming out of the recession, so that when things do start to grow, you've got that cash, you've got that good portfolio that you can then take advantage of that when things do inevitably start growing again in the future. Now, if you enjoyed this type of video, do let me know. I've been toying with the idea of making a lot more financial type content, so let me know if you enjoyed this type of content. But if you want more financial content in the meantime, check out my video, which will be linked somewhere over here, around 3 financial goals to set yourself for the rest of the year, recession or no recession. So go check that one out. But thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.